Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be checking out the 58th edition to the LEGO Ideas campaign, and of course it is all about Jaws. Now we are going to have a very good look at the boat itself, take a good look at the minifigures, and then towards the end of the video I actually want to do a size comparison with the Bricklink designer program Harbourmasters office, because I actually got that before I picked this up in anticipation that they would work well together. Now I also want to cover over all the bags that I haven't actually built because I do not want this thing on the stand, and I'm not 100% sure what to do with the shark either. So with that being said, let's get to it. A super quick look at the box before we get tucked into the set. You can see it is the LEGO Jaws Ideas number 58, all the way down in the bottom right hand corner, 18 plus, item number 21350, 1,497 pieces. The box artwork is eye-catching enough, and you can see you have the shark, the boat, and of course the stand itself. As we come up over to the top, easy enough to see if it has been led down with regards to the artwork and everything that is over there, and again it lets you know exactly what is what. Moving on to the back, and you can see why I'm not 100% sure what to do with the shark. You can have it on the stand, you can have it off the stand, you can have it in the water, and you can have it in half, and obviously you can make the diorama with them poking over the boat in that famous scene as it's obviously being fed. You can see you've then got all the nice little bits and pieces, probably with the drunken scene I do believe going along in there, where they're showing off each other's scars. And then as we come across the bottom, you can see just how big this is compared to the minifigures with regards to the shark, and the boat itself is also very surprising in height. So moving the box to the background, and now we have all the main sets in front. Now I'm very happy with the scale of this boat. I think it looks great, especially in front of those minifigures and all the detail that will be going through on the inside. And then as we pan over, well, the shark itself is yet to be put on the stand. I want to show you just the different bits and pieces that you can do with it and exactly what I'm going to end up doing with it. Now, before we actually get tucked into the set, quick go over with the instruction booklet. We're not going over all the amazing detail and artwork at the front, even though it does look very cool with regards to bits and pieces on the front, and of course, again, the bits and pieces on the back. But from bag 11 onwards is where you start to make up the base. Now the base itself has two very big blue row plates, and then you make in all of the details. So from bag 11 to 13 I am not using at all. So I haven't opened them because I do not want to put it on the stand, so I will end up using it for some pieces. Now with regards to the actual stickers themselves, obviously they've already been put on, but you get 1 1, 1 2, 2 3s and 2 4s, and they're not exactly the most complex things to put on. So there's not too many of them, so it keeps it all nice and simple, and it's just nice and easy. So we'll start off with the boat itself, and then from there we will see exactly what is what with how this shark is going to go together. And then, like I said, I am very much looking forward to, for the first ever time, putting it against the Harbourmaster, because that is the sole reason I got that Harbourmaster, because it reminds me of Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, because of course they have the shark dangling upside down and they've got all of the other little bits and pieces. So with this, well, hopefully it will work. So you can see that is not a sticker, that is a beautiful print on the background, and they have got all of the different Easter eggs that are needed in here. They have got the shark cage that they carry on just on this bit. You have then got his amazing chair with the big reel and everything that they hold when they go fishing for, of course, the shark itself. And then you've got the bucket, which is a double whammy, that bucket, because obviously it's the bit where they throw it overboard to feed, but of course they also use it to cool the reel down when it gets a little bit too hot. Then you've got a couple of little buoys and everything just in the back, just on there. More detail coming through. You've got the gas canisters that get knocked over when they obviously move this and they go rolling over. And then, well, it carries on with all of the detail, because you have got all these little bits and pieces with regards to winches, and then you've got all the ropes and everything that are on there. And then it is full of weaponry as well, because of course you've got all of the spears on the one side. So you've got 3 spears on the one side, and then as it comes round you've then also got 3 spears on the other. Now the detail does carry on as it comes around to the front, so you have got a little bit of just one sticker just on there, but this is the cool thing, because this bit really does overhang the rest of the boat. Now I will grab a base plate in a second just so you can see just how long this thing actually is, because it is quite deceiving when it is just on the table just like this, and of course it is also quite deceiving just how tall this bit is as well. So it looks fantastic, and it's going to work really well next to all of the other boats. Now, the bit on the front is easy enough and big enough just to stand a minifigure on there, so you can do that absolutely no problem. And obviously, you can have them holding on and doing bits and pieces. You can recreate the photo scene. You can recreate the shark and everything at the back. You've got all the different barrels and everything at the front. Of course, that's where they tie them on with the harpoon gun, and off it goes. But on the inside, he says, as I'm just slowly taking this off without trying to break anything, there is detail on the inside, which is always a nice thing. So you have got the map, you've got some coffee, you've got the little radio just on the inside, and then there is enough space in there to sit them down. And obviously you can recreate any scene that you want to when they're on here. Because of course it's not the biggest of boats that they go on for a rather large adventure, but it definitely does pack a punch. Now with regards to the angle of the boat, you do bits and pieces underneath already. Like I said, I've only got to this point, so you can see just underneath you have got 3 different bits, just to sort of give it that little bit of angle. Then of course they will go all around the waves, and it hangs on for dear life at the front. So with regards to what it would be like on the stand, it might be a little bit more flat, but I quite like the fact if I had a load of water around this, I think that's how I would want it, nice and flush to the floor. And then this bit up at the top, again, packs a punch. You use the little foams just to clip everything together. You've got the little light at the front. You've got the, obviously, shark teeth that's supposed to be at the front. And then spins it round. You've got the stick, all the other little bits and pieces that you want just on there. So that goes on easy enough. And you have, of course, got the little steps that take you up to the next compartment, because that's obviously what this is. Climb up, in you go, and job is a good one. And yes, I have just undone one of my knots, because no, I haven't undone one of my knots. I have just taken it off the top. So how this works is it ties on that side, big ball at the front, goes through this, and then it goes up onto, can you see? Yes. Up onto this bit just here, and I knew that was going to happen. So it's a bit of a tight fit, but I've obviously knocked it when I took that bit off, and now we're back together. So that's how you get that effect and that look, and I think it does look good. So base plate, let's grab a base plate just so you can see just how big this is. I will grab that one. So 32 by 32 base plate, nice and simple. Let's place you just here. Get you on there, across at the angle, pick them up, and that is how much space that is taking up. So you're overhanging by a fair few studs at the angle, and of course if you go side to side like so and get it all the way back, well, you're well over. So you're looking at about a base plate and a half, to be honest, with regards to the length, which again is deceiving. And if you wanted a size comparison, which just grab the quickest thing I can, which always seems to be this Harry Potter vehicle. So if you've got the Harry Potter vehicle, the bottom harpoon gun comes to the roof. Well, the flag is much, much, much higher. So I will, if I get the opportunity, just grab another little boat so you can see exactly what's what with that. But I am rather impressed with regards to the detail on this, and the price point of this thing is also very, very good as well. And I just happened to pick it up on the day of the Jaws anniversary as well, so I'm glad I've got this thing built. And yes, this is going to do exactly what I want it to do, he says, as long as it goes with what I'm hoping it will go with. But the boat I don't think is a problem, but this happy chappy might be. Now of course this is the Jaws stand, where you are easy enough, you can put all 3 minifigures, which we will take a better look at in a second, but they all go there, and they've all got their little bits and pieces with regards to guns, harpoon bits and pieces and all that kind of nonsense, because obviously each character has its own thing. But I don't know if I want it on the stand or not. Now I don't know if I just want this just in the water on the blue. Now I will grab the blue in a second so we can see what it looks like, because I think it's really going to work on grey. Now this does have a lot of detail to it, because you can see how you make up the mouth and everything. The teeth look great, and you've got the pink mouth, you've got the tongue, you've got everything else like that, but it is obviously half the body. Now, if I was to have it in the water and it's supposed to be like that, I can just have him poked up and more than likely just clip him down on this bit, which I don't think should be too much of a problem. I just have to figure that out for myself. So if you have got this set, did you add the tail or did you just add half the torso? Because as you can see by the box, there is no stand or tail if you're not using the stand that you put the minifigures on. So they have given you kind of 3 options really, because they knew full well that people would probably want to recreate this, biting this or chasing this, but not being on the stand. So you can do it on the stand, off the stand, or you can then do it on its own custom stand if you wanted that, because obviously it's got the jaws on it. Now it goes in, he says, it should go in simple enough, but I don't like doing these sorts of things because obviously I end up breaking everything. So you've got the long bit just down there, it will grab on to the gold, it clips in on that bit, and it should just slot in somewhere like that. And I'm not going to push it too hard because I do not want to break it, but it should just clip in, and that is what it looks like with the stand, obviously minus that gap, so it'll come all the way back. Now there is a little problem with my stand. Now I was actually missing, funny enough, one piece. So if you are eagle-eyed and you're wondering what that gap is just there, I got sent something else instead which wouldn't fit. So I just need to find myself another one of these to cover that gap up, and it's fine, but I don't know if I'm going to use the stand, and I don't know if I can pull these out, take that off, and then will this just clip into this, because this is something I've not tried and I don't think it will. Let's just rip the tail off. So I don't know if I can get that slotted in there, because I'm not 100% sure if that will go. I could have it like this, and also I've just ripped that bit off, and then I could have the tail as so. Obviously that doesn't quite seem right to me. It's obviously off by a stud somewhere. Does that? Oh, hang on. Does it flex? It does flex. Oh, that's why you've got the gap there. So you can have it on its belly. It's just not pictured. Or have I just been a muppet? I'm learning. I'm doing this review and learning from myself. So as I've got this booklet back open, you can see you've got to open up bag 12 and 13 to carry on with the base, and you can see with regards to all the other little bits and pieces that are on there. So what options does it give? I've checked this already. So you rip that off, put it on the angled stand, which is something I could potentially copy and build. So I could use those pieces without the tail and then just clip it onto the base plate, or I could just have it chilling out in the water with a load of stuff around it, because he does look pretty cool with the tail on. Now with regards to the size of the shark, oh, we're getting all carried away now. It's not exactly ideal grey on grey, but we will see. It really isn't clipped in at all. So with the tail kicked up, we are 30, another 2 studs with the tail all the way down. How far can that go down before it touches? There. So we are just off. So the nose is level. A stud. Just 33 studs in length, and it's a skinny shark. So I am very, very tempted actually just to have it like that. Potentially I have got the tail on. Possibly, no, it's the right way around. They do show it that way, but you might be able to get it on the other way and just have it slightly different. But I think I would have it up and it flat on its tummy, and then you've got all these little bits and pieces on the back. So that's enough of the shark itself. Let's move on to the minifigures. Right, moving on to the minifigure, and I thought I'd just use the shark as the backdrop, and we'll go through all of these one by one, because of course, well, they have a lot of detail on each, but it's nice to see all 3 of them side by side. So we will start off with Brody. So Martin Brody, the Chief, which is this one just here. So we'll get these 2 out of the way, and I'll show them off. Oh, I'll show them off how they basically get introduced in the movie, and we can use this rather handy stand at the same time. So with regards to these minifigures, some have leg prints, some don't, but it is what it is with regards to all of that. You can see what he is holding. He's holding a pair of binoculars, and of course he has his weapon because he is the chief of police. Get that out the way, and then get that out the way. You can then see, that one's putting up a fight. You can see all the patterning on the jeans, and then of course you've got the shirt with the black, that is all over there, and then you have got the nice collar as well. So with regards to the front of this minifigure, I think it does look really, really nice. And then as we spin it over to the back, again, you've got the little ripples and the shading and all that kind of thing, and there's no print, obviously, on the back of the shirt. With regards to the secondary face print, we do have one. So we have the really big, sort of old-school glasses face, and then we have the one without the glasses. So you can pick and choose which one that you prefer. To be honest, I think we should have as the glasses, but it stands out a little bit more that he is the different character. And the police, because, well, as he's not in his police uniform, some people might not know, but those glasses are a definite giveaway. So, Matty Hooper. So Matt Hooper is the sort of marine life bio expert, knows everything and anything about all different sharks, has an obsession with them when he was young, and this is basically his character. So, holding, sure, that is a little bit of an Easter egg. What he's supposed to be holding, I don't know. I don't know if that's the first thing you see him with in the film. There will be some reference to that, but it's slipping my mind and it's bugging me a little bit. I'm not 100% sure what that's supposed to be, unless it's the tracker that he ties to the barrel. So we'll see. Well, you guys and girls can let me know in the comment section. But he has got the nice sort of like beanie hat with the hairpiece included. Again, lighter blue trousers with a little bit of printing, and then you've got the darker shirt of blue with the grey that is just underneath, and of course it's obviously just the open button. On the back, again, lots of nice detail on there with regards to the sort of the square piece with the ripples, and you've got the belts and buckles and everything across the back, and this hairpiece that is all as one. You can see it does look nice and smart with regards to the bits and pieces that are in there. And then, well, again, you've got the glasses that are included in that one if you want to have them with, or I'd say without, but this character does have glasses on both. So you can pick and choose what face you prefer. So option 1, and again option 2. Let's go with a smile, shall we? Let's not be so grumpy and go with a smile. And again, with regards to all the patterning on the beard and everything, I think it does look like a very, very smart minifigure. Now, moving on to Sam Quint. So, the one that has the legacy of catching all the little bits and pieces, with I say little bits and pieces, every shark that you can imagine in the open waters, and it looks as mean and as grumpy in minifigure form as what he does in the actual film. So, deep blue trousers, push them down a little bit, and then you have got this sort of olive green jacket with the shirt, you've got the hat, and then you do have the sideburns that are included on there. So you've got the huge sideburns that go all the way up. It's almost like an upside down Christmas tree on that one. With regards to the printing on the back, no leg print, and there's no secondary face print on this one. So 2 of the 3 have alternate faces. This one is obviously just so miserable throughout the film. They've just given him one miserable look. Does come with the harpoon gun if you want the harpoon gun for this character, and you do get spare weaponry with each minifigure. But I think all 3 minifigures stood side by side do look very, very good indeed. Right, back to the bird's eye view quickly. So this is what we tend to do in these sort of review and comparisons. Get you up high to start with, so I can actually show you how many base plates the whole thing takes up, and then we'll bring you back down and much, much lower. So I've got these little lights which I don't know if they help or not with that camera. I know they very much do with the other. So that's the stand with the 3 minifigures that you've just seen. We'll get that out the way. That is the thing that's actually keeping that battery alive. So we'll get that out of the way. That's a sticky sheet, and we are good to go. So I have brought over 4 blue base plates, taking them off from the bit at the bottom. No, it's not easy me filming over in that corner because the loft hatch is just there. So I do not want to sort of break my neck as I crouch down and show these little bits and pieces off. Now, I have said, literally from day one, that this base makes me very, 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 very horrendously nervous. So what I want to do is actually show you. So I've got it on the base plate, which is great, but that piece has literally just fallen off. So I do all these raw, because if it goes wrong, you can see I don't mean to break the stuff. So that's all back on. So you've got to take what I've done with this base that we are looking at now. Fantastic set, but I've actually stuck it together with more 1x2 water tiles. So there's the turtle, and that will just be swimming around for now, and that will be rehomed when I place it back. There is base plate number 2. Put those just over there. Base plate number 3. So rip the tail off, that's always going to happen. And base plate number 4. So that's the front on that one. I can't get this underneath. Yes, I can. There we go. Right, so we are going to do a small diorama over 4 base plates. Now this is, like I said, the first time that this will be used this way. I think, to be honest, it would be better if that was actually spun the other way round. I know I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. But put it on backwards and it's not exactly... That's my bad. It's not exactly ideal. Like I said, I've got absolutely no space up here to do these kind of things, but yet I'm still stupid enough to do it. So what I've just knocked off is this with the other pieces. They're on the floor. It was fully complete. Just take it with a pinch of salt. Right. There's 3. There's 4. And finally, we can get this together. So we'll get the shark in. So we're going to put the shark there. There's a big old shark compared to the size of that building, that's for sure. Don't forget we've got the little boat that comes with this as well. And then we've got, honestly, everything I've touched this weekend, I am not even going to bother. I'm just ripping off. I could bore you with the reasons why, but I won't. But when the bruising comes out, I will show it off. So, here we go. I think the boat looked great with that, to be honest. There's going to be lots of different diorama ways that we can do different bits and pieces, and that sounds like that's the first bit of rain hitting this roof in weeks, because it is still very, very hot in here. So, let's just get this boat in front, because that is probably how it might end up being. So yeah, I'm not too sure which way to put what. I don't know whether to have this boat sort of maybe angled so it's just there, but it's definitely going to take up some space. You know that this thing is also going to take up some space, so that could just be swimming over there. And that one, you're going to need probably 4 base plates for this diorama. And again, well, there's the turtle, so that could just be swimming around doing whatever it is. It will soon fill up. So that is exactly what I was hoping it would be. I think that is how I would have it parked, but I might have the building side on, because obviously there's the front door, and obviously you can see the Harbourmaster. You can see the Harbourmaster sign. So let's just spin it around one more time without knocking everything off, because the base of the Bricklink set is all a little bit weird and wonderful with regards to shapes. So we've got a flat edge on the back here. So that now is basically pushed over to the back of that 32 by 32. That's to that one. And then we're there, and then we're there, then we're there. So the other way we could have it is where the Harbourmaster is there. We could have the shark outside. That boat and turtle could just stay, where should I put you? Just stay as it is. And that would be parked that way. So it's the same sort of display, but it's just how I would see it from, because this bit is flush against that back wall. So yeah, I think Bruce just swimming away at the front, and then this is obviously a nice size boat. If we can get a couple more of those, would be a nice touch. But I think overall, I think it works really, really well. So that is it, and I am done. So if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Bit of a faff, but we got there in the end. It always is the case, me knocking bits and pieces off and over. Hence why the Theme Park Disaster series is what it is. Now, again, with regards to the height of this, before I do actually cut myself off, this is higher than the flag on the Harbourmaster. So if you have seen the Harbourmaster in person, or you've seen plenty of reviews, obviously this is about the size of a modular building, and then this is that little bit taller, which is right because it is a tall ship in the movie. But yes, I think that is one of the ways that I'll end up having it displayed, and I will be messing around after this upload, actually placing it properly. So keep your eyes peeled for the LEGO Theme Park Disaster episode of me placing the Jaws set with this again. So one more time, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one.